Hello and welcome to A Cuppa With. Let me just introduce the panel. We have Palm on my left shoulder. Good
Hello.
And we have Andy below me. Hello, Andy.
Hey. Hello, everyone.
Okay, so today on The Cuppa With, we have a gentleman who is big into microbrands, and he has written a book on the subject, which is available on Amazon. So I'm just going to welcome Giuseppe into the stream now. Hello, Giuseppe, and welcome to the tea room. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Hello, everybody.
Hey, Giuseppe. Nice to meet you.
Hello. Nice to meet you guys.
So what I'd like to ask you first, sir, is what gave you the idea, please, to write the book?
Well, first of all, I've been started collecting watches since 2028, in 2018, and I started getting to Seiko watches, or something standard. But then I started getting to microbrands and very special watches. I started searching with a lot of difficulties because there were no single places where to find too many watches from different microbrands. So as I worked for a publishing house company for 5 years, my first idea was that maybe a book could be helpful for people to have a clear view, or just a starting point to find and search for new microbrands. So depending on the price range and other things that I put into the book.
Excellent. Thank you.
So this was my first idea. I was very frustrated because I was on a lot of Facebook groups or on YouTube. So every time I have to search on different platforms, and this for me was a little difficult after some years.
Yeah,
thank you.
Find all the right information, right?
Yeah, get it all in one place. That's a really good thing.
Yeah.
So when you decided to write this book and make this stand for microbrands, how many watches did you have in your collection? And as an author of a book, how many do you think you need to start your to write a book? Do you think you need lots of watches, or do you think you can have a few, or what are your views on that?
Well, I have I don't know exactly, but in my collection I have got right now around 80 watches. So
Wow.
I started collecting a lot of watches. Unfortunately, it's not good for my wife, but after some years,
not good for anyone's wife.
No.
So I don't think people need too many watches just to write a book. But the most important thing that was really helpful for me was, first of all, have a really important passion about watches. But not only about the watch itself, so the movement, the design, and all these things, but also to know the people behind the brand. So where people are based. I talked, for example, with too many watchmakers from all around the world, and this, I think, is one of the really special points that I really liked about this book. And but I just need some patience, a lot of patience, to write this book. And also I wrote this book in Dakar, in Senegal, because my wife works here right now. She's Italian, but she was in Senegal something like 2 years ago. So after I decided to follow her to Dakar, then of course there were a lot of things to do, like, for example, in Milan or in Italy. So I started creating this idea, started from scratch, of course. So from first PowerPoint and informations, and I contacted all these people, but of course also a lot of ideas started because I worked for a publishing house company, so I know how to write a book or maybe how to start. But
Okay, so you had the
definitely, I think
experience there as well. Yeah.
passion is the most important thing.
Wow.
Excellent,
No,
thank
that's
you.
really interesting, actually. So,
Yes.
how did you find? Just going a bit off script because we're okay. How did you find dealing with the people in the watch industry with the microbrands? Did you find it quite easy, or did you find it difficult at first when trying to get all the information?
Well, generally, the informations and details about the watches, it was pretty easy to get all the informations just about the watches. So the specifications and something like this. But it was really difficult to get in contact with all the people because as we are in different countries, and most of the time we talk on Instagram or via email, for example. Sometimes it's not easy to get in contact in the same way. So because also of the hours that, for example, in Italy is day, in other countries night. So
Yes.
for me,
Time
this was
zones
really
different. Yeah.
this was really a big problem, but I have got a lot of patience, and I just started writing on different watchmakers that I already know or microbrands. Another important thing and difficult thing was the photos, because so the material about the photos, because when you write a book, if you're talking just about words, it's easy. But when you have to show photos, it must be everything in high and super high resolution. So, for example, an important thing when I talk with a lot of microbrands owners is to make really important and good-looking photos of the watch, because maybe you are making a really nice watch, but if you don't take good photos to show the watch in a really good quality, maybe people don't understand a lot how maybe a watch is special. So just by seeing it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Excellent.
See it in great detail, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So a question from my side would be, which micro brand started it all for you? So which watch was it what made you get so into the micro brands?
Just starting from the microbrands, there were, for example, one of my first was Isotope watches. Jose makes really cool timepieces. And another one was, for example, so I just scrolling the feed on the Instagram. I just starting by seeing, for example, Meccanica Veneziane also. Now it's called Venezianico. Is an Italian microbrand, and they are also growing a lot in these years. And I just started also with another interesting microbrands that is called the Sacred Crafts, for example, and they use recycled materials from abandoned propellers to make the watch. And also, for example, the links of the watch are made by using the abandoned fishing net, so creating a new material.
Cool. Yeah.
So this was for me, for example, and a really interesting point of view is how people are using recycled materials to make, for example, watches and of course also other things. But this is really nice, for example.
Yeah, like sustainability, right? It's a big focus,
exactly.
I think, today, and I think a lot of bigger brands maybe miss that.
Yeah.
So Giuseppe, with all the coverage you've given microbrands, have they actually recognised that fact and built a relationship with you? So after you've covered them in the book, do you still speak to them regularly and they update you with their latest watches and things?
Sorry, I didn't understand the question. Can you repeat the questions? Because it was a little disturbed.
Yeah, with all the relationship you've built up, have you built a relationship with all the Microbrand people as you've given them a lot of coverage on their products? Have you built up a relationship with them? Does it still?
Yes,
does the
of course.
relationship keep on going?
Yes, of course. Well, I'm on Instagram since 2000 and no, since I think the 2 years and a half, something like that. So I started. Of course, I have built during the years a strong relationship with all the microbrands that are into the book. So of course, the first people that I think about contacting when I realized this idea was, of course, the first microbrand that I know during this period. So because, for example, I just scrolling the feed, I saw that, for example, the photos were good, the site was good. So of course, I can't put into the book, for example, everything, but all the people that are reading the book must find something that is 100% or around 100% ready and correct. So, for example, if a microbrand doesn't have a good site, I can't put this into the book because people maybe see the watch, but the site has not a really good how I can say user experience, for example. So everything must be. So the photos must be right. The site must be good. Of course, the product must have something. Something special. So I was just saying yes, I have built a strong relationship, but of course also the microbrands I talk with must have all these details and characteristics and this style of making the watch and the idea behind it.
Got you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. So, Giuseppe, I have a question in that. What is about microbrands that you love the most above more, popular, probably higher priced brands? And what can you say to our viewers that will convince our viewers to start getting into microbrands and taking a closer look at them rather than just what everyone else is looking at?
Well, the first thing I have to say to a watch lover or a person that wants to get into the microbrands world, well, first of all, don't think, of course, this is my opinion, but I have to say, don't think just about the movement or about the classic things that people are thinking about. So, for example, okay, the value of the watch it's just not only the movement. So there are a lot of things behind it. So starting from the design, the materials, the idea, the concept behind the watch. So I saw a lot of people are thinking too much about the movement. Of course, we are talking about microbrands. So it is obvious that a lot of people are using more or less the same movements. Okay,
off-the-shelf movements.
But of course, every people has a different idea of a watch. And also another thing that I have to say is that the watchmaking in general is constantly making a new watch, but starting maybe from a point of view of another person. So it's a transformation, a constant transformation of an idea for me. But I have to say that too much people are thinking about the price, but with a starting point from the movement. So of course there are brands or watches that are overpriced, but we have to say also that the world today is not easy. So the inflations and everything's. So this was just my idea or my suggestions to watch lover, for example.
Yeah. Cool. And I think a question from my perspective would be, other than Microbrands, which brands do you like? I think I saw you had a Speedy, right? An Amiga Speedy. So is it mainstream brands which you like?
A classic Moon watch and a Zenith Stellina from the 70s, I think.
Nice.
Well, if you are not talking about Microbrands, I really love Zenith is one of my favorite brands, or Omega, of course. Of course, I have to talk about a little more, not a lot affordable, but I think more easily to buy for me. But Zenith watches are absolutely my favorite. For example, El Primero is one of my favorite model of this historic watchmaker.
I think, I'd have to say the 60s El Primero is the sweet spot for me. But they're so crazy expensive now.
Of course, my Grail watches are very difficult to get, but hope maybe in the future.
Yeah.
Okay, Giuseppe, can I just ask you, please, to show us some of your favorite personal watches, please?
Okay, well, my favorite watches, I have to say, the first one is this Seiko 5, a classic Seiko 5.
Nice.
Super easy and affordable watch.
What's the story behind that? Yeah, how come you got that, please?
Everything started, my passion and everything started from this watch, because when I was working for the publishing house company in Milan, here in Italy, there was a colleague of mine that he was passionate about watches, and I remember he was always wearing this Seiko 5 every day. So at that time, I didn't know about Grand Seiko 5 Sports, Seiko 5. I didn't know all these things. So I remember that I was really amazed by this blue of the dial.
Yeah.
It was really, for me, was really impressive. So I was thinking maybe it was a luxury watch or something like that. So because I was thinking about, I don't know, a Datejust or something like that. But
sure.
I didn't understand anything about watches. So I asked him just for information, and he told me, "Oh, it's just a Seiko 5. It's a super affordable watch. You can get this for a couple of euros, so just 100 euro or something like this." And then it was my first watch. So the day after, I bought this watch. So me and my colleague, we were wearing the same watch.
Oh, wow!
And then when I started.
1 second, Giuseppe. I'm just going to make you full screen. Could you show us the dial on that? Because that's such a nice blue. I'll just make you full screen now.
Okay, yes. This was my first.
That's nice.
My
nice
first
blue.
Really nice.
Really, very Vacheron overseas kind of blue color. Yeah.
Yeah, really nice. Then when I start really get into watches, but not into Microbrands. The first luxury, or I think luxury is too much, but the first important watch was my Omega Speedmaster, and this for me was my great watch because I really like moon, stars, something like this. So I really feel in love with space and all these things. So for me, the Moon watch was a really, really cool watch to have in the collection. And the first thing I bought was this one. This is the classic.
Wow!
Beautiful. We love Speedies. Yeah.
Well,
we all love a Speedy on this show.
What year is that, Giuseppe? Please, what year is that watch?
I bought this watch in 2019. So,
right.
But I think it's some years before, because of course it is not. This is the classic moon watch. So no sapphire crystal.
Tessellite, Yeah,
Okay, has to
one.
like
Yeah.
close case back.
What we like, yeah, that's what we like. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
And then also the case back is really nice. So it is the classic case back of the
Yes.
Moonwatch.
Yeah.
Nice.
Another
What's the
reason I
story?
love
What-
this
yeah.
watch is because there is no sapphire, because the sapphire on the moon couldn't work. So
No.
this is the reason why I maybe a true person really that is feeling in love with the Moonwatch maybe likes more the no sapphire version. So
Yes, Hesselite version. Yes.
the when I then get started into Microbrands, I discovered a really nice watch from some Italian guys from Rome, and this the brand is called the Pantheon Roma. So because the Pantheon is an historic Roman temple, and this is when I was talking about the idea and the concept behind the watch. This is one of the things that I saw, because the dial, if you see the dial,
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Wow.
Right,
yeah.
perfect.
it is inspired by the Roman the Pantheon, so the couple of the
Wow.
this historic Roman temple.
That's
So
really cool.
it is a very easy watch, because it is an NH35 movement, so really not complicated. But the dial is really interesting and has this texture available also in different colors. But this one, the brown version was my favorite. Another really nice brand, Microbrands. It was I have to say, I don't know if call them Microbrands or not, because they were Microbrands 3 or 4 years ago, but right now they grow up a lot. So this is called Venezianico. At that time they were the Meccaniche Veneziane. So this is the watch.
Wow.
Is this a Venetian company? Is that why they
Yes.
named?
They made a rebrand with the new name Venezianico, because they made new watches with new design, new important design, using different materials, different bezels. This is the bezel of this watch. Sorry, I have. Okay.
No, you're there. That's fine.
Oh,
Beautiful,
perfect.
beautiful. Yes.
The bezel is a tungsteno bezel. So also if you can see it has something like a mirror
finish. Yes.
Yeah. Almost like chrome.
It is a lot dirty sometimes, but I clean it every day, and the effect is absolutely cool. You can see my kitchen on my.
You can see everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look a mirror. You can shave in that.
The bracelet is really cool, because as you can see the different finishes of the bracelet.
Yes, that's beautiful.
Beautiful construction there.
Is it me, or it has like a Nautilus kind of vibe to that bracelet? Maybe.
Does. Yes, it's great.
It
which I like. I really like it. Yeah.
Yes.
Really nice watch for with the Swiss movement. Nice engraved case back. So I have to say, they made a really good job. And when the first time I reviewed this watch, I was really impressed by all the things that they have updated during the years.
Sure. And what kind of price do you have to pay for a watch like that?
Well, this watch, the official price was around €800, but they made the watch with this watch is new. It was just sold out some weeks ago, and they put the watch with the 700. Sorry, 1,000 is too much. €700. So I have to say, for €700, this is a really interesting watch, because the packaging is really cool. The bracelet is cool. the watch is really solid on the wrist. It is heavy with a correct weight, so the click of the bezel is really good, and also the
Nice.
materials are nice, Swiss movement. So
Awesome.
I have to say, I was really impressed. So it could be a really cool gift watch for a birthday or something like that. But
Yeah.
they also made a really nice watch with the ceramic bezel, because they made also another interesting thing is that they made a new watch GMT with the NH34 of Seiko. So really nice company, I have to say.
I need to ask you, Giuseppe, what makes a Microban company a Microban company? It's a small watch company, but what do you define as being a Microban? Like Zelos, for instance, were big, but didn't they used to be a Microbrand? So a
For
Microbrand,
me,
so they, yeah.
there is a point. I have to say that we are making now this. We are talking about this, but I have to say that the point is not only for watch companies, but for companies in general. So when you are talking about a company, what makes a small company to a medium small or to a big company? So I think that the process is the same for all the companies. Also, if you are making watches or a T-shirt or something like that, because you are starting from an idea, and first things the idea is little, and the investments also are really small. But what is the difference is that I have to say they for now I'm calling them microbrands, because they are very new, but they are really young. It is a young company, so just born some years ago. So we are not talking about an historic company. But this is why also, for example, my book is called the Microbrands book, inside the Microbrands and independent watchmakers. So to make a little distance from what are brands that are making their own cases, for example, or what are the brands that are for example, buying a movement, a case, and then they make everything together. So
Yeah.
this is the one of the first thing. But I have to say that when a company is really big with an important a number of watch sold, this is one of the first thing that I have to say. Okay, it is now right now is not a micro brand, but is a full brand. This
Full
is also
brand.
why, for example, Pinnacle, Andan, or other brands like this, or Dartmouth brands, I don't consider them micro brands, because they sold thousands and thousands of watches every year. So,
Yeah.
of course, you can like or don't like it, but they are selling an important quantity of watches. This doesn't preclude, of course, that the watch is bad or is good, but of course, this is because also Rolex sells a lot of watches every year.
Yeah.
They have their own steel when they make the watches, but they are not a micro brand, of course. They are a very big company. So this is the first thing I have to say. When a company is starting his journey, of course, is a small company or micro brand company, even if you are making leather goods or something like this. But then there is a point when, of course, if you make 1,000 watches or 10,000 watches, you can't consider you a micro brand, because
So what would you say is the cutoff? What's the limit, would you say, on production to be classified as a micro brand? Like 500 a year, for example, or
I don't know. For me, less. I think that 500 is a good number of watches.
Right.
I have to say, but also less than 1,000 in any way.
Okay.
For me, because but over 1,000 watches is a really, for me, is a really important quantity of watches. But less than 1,000, because, for example, you can make 500 watches, and you are maybe a YouTuber, or there are a lot of, for example, Italian YouTuber guys. They started with a 500 quantity of watches, and they sold it in some weeks, for example. But I don't consider them. But I consider them microbrand. So not a lot for the quantity, but also on about how the company is organized. So
Sure.
when you are alone, maybe you can have a superpower and make a lot of watches, but you are always alone. When you start having a marketing team, people that sold the watch for you, a site, an important site with a lot of models that are recreated every year. This is not a microbrand company for me.
Yeah.
But when you are a man alone, or with just some little helps, you are absolutely a microbrand for me.
Do you think there's a price point for a microbrand that can't be? Is there a ceiling price, do you think?
About the price, I don't think, because of course, if you are not talking about important prices, because I have to say there are some not famous, not important, but really interesting Swiss watchmakers that nobody talks about, and they make watches about 30,000 of watch. So maybe there are a lot of people with a good investment, and they are making their own company, but they are really unknown. So I don't think the price point is really important, because you can start your own company, made 100 watches, and use, for example, diamond into the watch, and just let's say the watch thousands of euro. Also, some watches that are into my book cost over 1,000 or 2,000 euro. There are some really interesting guys from Denmark or other countries that are making really interesting timepieces with strange materials. But the company is small, but the watch costs a lot. So it is a point of view. I think that the most important view to consider a microbrand or non-microbrand is how the company itself is organized. So if you are have a big company, this is why also company are called microbrand or small to medium size company. The most important thing I have to say is the size of the company, because, for example, these guys from Denmark, we are talking about two guys.
Sure.
The brand is called Arcanaut. They are making an incredible watches, but they are just two people. So of course, when I write to them, they don't answer every time, because they work day and night. So, but the watch costs around 2,000 or 3,000 euro. So of course, not a lot of quantity. Another point is maybe the quantity, but I have to say that how the company is organized for me.
Okay. So of all the microbrands, which is your favorite one?
About microbrands?
Yeah, your favorite one of all of them.
It's just it's not an easy question.
Tough. Okay, then. Which one did you think is has the most innovation? Then which one do you like through having the most innovation?
About innovation, I have to say the Sacred Crafts. These guys I was talking before. because I have a lot of watches. But the first time I saw these guys, I was really impressed because it's 90% recycled material. So the watch is made. The bronze of the watch is taken from the abandoned propellers. The links of the watch of the bracelet is a special material they create with abandoned fishing nets. Also, I don't know if I have. If you can give me a second, I take this watch and I will show you if you want. But let me know.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
No problem.
I have them in
It's all
different part of my house.
All right.
Oh, this is the watch.
Ooh.
Okay, I'll put you on full screen. 1 second.
This is the
Okay,
watch.
yeah.
Of course, it's a bronze watch.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you can see, the links of the bracelet, right?
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah, the middle ones. Yeah.
Yes, the middle ones
Green
are
colored. Yeah.
they are made from abandoned fishing nets, so creating this strange material. And the bronze of the watch is taken from the abandoned propellers of the abandoned boats.
It's cool.
Oh, abandoned
Wow.
boats. Okay.
Also, the movement is a Sellita movement, so
Nice.
really easy movement. But the case, also the packaging is really nice because this is the brand,
Okay.
Wow.
That's very nice. Yeah.
and the wood is taken from abandoned boats.
Ah,
This is
I guess
the
they get everything from there.
it's better than a
That's
Rolex
nice
box.
That's a really nice box. Yeah, better than most
Very
boxes,
nice
I
box.
think.
That
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
beautiful box.
Of
that.
course, when you're talking about this watch, I think it costs around $1,200, not euro. I remember.
All right.
Okay. It's almost the same.
So you have to say maybe it's a little expensive. Okay, but if you see the packaging, if you see what it's behind the price for the watch itself, it's good. So
Yeah.
this is what I talk about when I say don't think just about the movement. Okay, it is a Sellita and it costs over €1,000. Okay, but for them how much does it cost, the box and the packaging and all these things to make the watch. So
Yeah.
there are different opinions, of course. This is mine.
Sure.
Okay, so this is the one you think which shows the most innovation. Okay.
Absolutely. For
Thank
me,
you.
you have to say yes. This one is crazy. When I saw it, I was blowing my mind.
Wow.
Excellent.
And
Excellent.
just before, I think we're going to move to some questions around the book, but just before,
Yeah.
would you ever be interested in doing a collaboration with a micro brand? Because you obviously have a lot of experience, like seeing so many different. Would you ever want to design your own watch?
It is and I have to say that this is another. Of course, I have some ideas. I like a lot of watches. Some things for a watch and something for another. But it's not my job. So it's I have a really creative mind, but not such.
For building the watch itself.
So nothing planned then. Nothing,
no.
no surprises.
No,
okay.
Okay.
If someone wants to dedicate a watch to me, it would be a pleasure, of course. But I have to say, everyone has his own job, so this is not mine.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah,
When you make a Microban, I have to say you have to be a designer, a manager, an important entrepreneur. You have too many
things
skills. Too many skills. You have to know how to make a site, how to make an e-commerce. So too many person in just one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
A lot of skills.
Cool.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. So, do you have your book there, Giuseppe, that we could have a quick
Yes.
look at it? I'll put you on
Yes,
full
this is
screen again.
this is my book. And
Just
as
walk us through it.
as I told you before, it's called the Microbrands book. Inside the Microbrands and independent watchmakers, and the back of the cover are the back of the watch, so of the watches.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Ah, cool.
So the case back. This was an idea of my wife because I have not such a creative mind. So I have to say a lot of big thank you, a really big thank you to my wife, because she told me some ideas really cool for the book. And then as I told you before, the book right here has the ear, because I will make a new edition. The book inside of the first edition, the 2022 edition, there are 46 microbrands. Every microbrand has four pages. So everything is upside down when I show. So it's not easy. It's not easy. But every brand has 4 pages, and my idea was the photo of the founder, because people don't know, of course, the persons that are behind the watch and behind the company. So I want people to know the face of the person.
Sure.
This is also why I ask to every microbrand owner all these materials. So I need photos, descriptions, details of the watches, photos, high resolution. So it's not easy to get all these materials from everyone. But with a lot of patience, I made it. And then there is a comment. This is an example. There are the photos of the watches.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Respect.
Why you could buy them as well, and some.
Yeah.
The details of the watches, some photos, and my comment, which is called the why buy comment, and that's it. So 4 pages.
Nice.
If you have one model, I will put more photos of your model. If you have different models, I will put the photos of the different models.
Okay, and all photos are taken for the book, especially by the brands.
Sorry.
The photos in the book, they're taken especially for the book by the brand.
No, okay. It would be too much difficult to make own photos for the book. So I get every materials from every microbrand owner. So I have to check every time. It was a really impressive work of 8 months because I had to check all the photos, the qualities of the photos, the quality of the photos, the materials. And also I have to check all the details for thousands of watches, because if a watch is 40 millimeters diameter, and if I write 42, it's not good. The book, the book doesn't make sense. So this is because it's not just a book, but is a really big catalog with also the story behind the book. I write the story. I write everything. The most important informations about the brand. So the year foundation, the price, the range price, the site of the microbrand, so that people can have all the information on these 4 pages.
Sure.
Generally, I get from the company a description of the company, and then I rewrite everything with the much interesting point of view to explain better the microbrands.
Really nice. And for our viewers, because a lot of watch books are quite expensive, right, in this industry. So what kind of price would our viewers be looking at if they wanted to purchase the book?
The price of the book is in euro is 39 euro. But as the book is sold on Amazon, sometimes Amazon decide itself to make some discount or something like that.
Sure.
Like that. In dollars, the price is 38 or 39.
Okay.
This is lucky situation because the euro and dollar it has the same value right now. For dollar, a little more than euro. So for all the dollar people, this is a good moment. I have to say.
Yeah.
My publisher
extremely accessible.
Yeah, I'll put a link. I'll put a link in our description of this video. I'll put a link to the Amazon.
Yeah.
Certainly will do. I'll put a link to that.
It's £33.25 on Amazon.
Yeah, it's available on Amazon.
Thank you so much for your time. Well done on the book. It looks really, really interesting. So any viewers out there want to buy the book, you'll find a link in the video there to be able to take you to Amazon to buy that wonderful book and help the gentleman feed his family. Well done, it's brilliant. If anybody's going to World Time, I know some of you guys out there go to World Time, we'll be there. You'll see Giuseppe there at World Time. Go and have a word with him. Maybe if he bought a copy of the book, get him to sign it. Will you have copies for the book at World Time? Will you have copies with you?
Yes, I will have my copies. So you will have also the possibility to check the book.
Nice.
Excellent. So go and check him out at World Time if you go in, and maybe get a copy of the book off him and get him to sign it. It'd be really good. Right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Parman. Thank you, Andy, for being in the panel. Thank you, everybody for watching. And we will see you all again next time. Thank you.